Yes, hello. Welcome to Kung Fu Friday. This is Basil from Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, coming to you again, bringing the boys back to the Secret Chamber so that they may use one of our rooms to do their movie review podcast. Today's a very special episode because the boys got approached by an independent film studio called West of Midway. And these boys asked them if they could watch the zombie mockumentary and put some word out, or hype as they call it. I don't know what Alex is talking about. I don't know what the word hype means. He says it's good. I haven't drunk it or eaten it, so I wouldn't know. Of course, I am a hidden shadow here at the Secret Chamber, so my diet is optimized for premium and the best martial arts. But again, I've never encountered hype in my life. Anyway, the point of this is the boys watched this zombie mockumentary. The movie is called What Doesn't Kill Us. And this movie follows the story of 3 zombies who were affected by a zombie outbreak about 10 to 15 years ago in a small town of Texas. And through the miracle of medicine and group therapy, we all know how well that works, these zombies, or Negro Sapiens, that's fun, I'm being told that's the politically correct term, they were able to transition back into society. So we follow these people's stories and the challenges that they face in society to just live a normal life. Anyways, the mockumentary was brilliant. They are going to be making a move for independent film festivals, so keep an eye out in your local towns and go watch this movie. Again, West of Midway Productions. The movie is called What Doesn't Kill Us. I think I've rambled on long enough. Once again, I'm sorry, Alex. I will cut it short next time. But you wonderful Hidden Shadows army, enjoy this episode. Bye.
Alright, okay.
Take 2.
Okay. I gotta go back in character.
Sultry, secret
Tons.
Asian man.
Secret Asian man. Secret Asian man. I hope one day you'll get this. And if you don't, hopefully somebody will get this. But this is to you, my long lost lover. Sometimes my sentences might sound short and my strokes are long, but I think it's just fantastic to mix it up. It's what you would have enjoyed if you were here with me. Right now, I don't really know where I am. I just know that it's dark. And isn't this deep abyss of my physical realm? My soul longs for you. I hope.
That's a long word.
The thing is that you can edit out, because we had so much silence there that you can edit out us cracking up right now and feeding into whatever he
I was
he
translating like a kung fu movie when you just looks at the eyes.
Just leave it.
Hey, but look at my shading. It kind of looks amazing,
That's
actually.
pretty good, dude. You could
Yeah.
sell that in an art gallery.
I'm going to. It's the hidden shadows of the secret art chamber.
You had
You
like,
didn't know?
it was like all one
Yeah.
stroke though. You didn't have any pauses for it to sound.
That's right.
It sounded like it was cursive.
The pencil never left.
That shit sounded
the paper.
cursive.
Yeah.
You can sound. You can
Short.
hear cursive.
If
Long.
you guys,
In, out.
wow. If you guys think about it, cursive is like kung fu.
If you think about it, everything is kung fu.
Whoa.
Shaolin Kung
Kung
Fu
Fu
used
means
to
time and
make
energy.
sweet bun.
And you can have Kung Fu
What
in
a
anything.
brilliant notion. Hey. You haven't seen that movie yet.
He has. It's Kung Fu Hustle. You
that
need
one
to
was
watch
Shaolin
that.
Soccer.
Oh, that is
I
Shaolin
have
Soccer.
not watched
I
that
was
one.
What? We always tell you to watch it.
I haven't gone in that room
You
yet.
know what? I'm going to just tie you up
You
in
know
that
how I
room,
told
and you're
you
going to
about-
watch it over and over and over at
I was
least
telling
7
you about
times.
Stephen
you
Chow. and
Wait.
it's on.
If you do tie me down, right,
Yeah.
in that room, can you have some kind of automatic like chip dispenser that will dip the chip into a bowl of warm queso, the right temperature to eat, and then it will attempt to put it in my mouth.
I'll make that machine. I'll make it.
See, the
and
problem
the chip
is
will be
that
the
it's-
chip. Let me tell you what the chip will look like.
Okay.
It'll look like a giant dildo. Just kidding.
I'm
Well, just
confused.
just
Is
for
it-
like efficiency, right? Because like if
Yeah.
it was like a triangle, like it would cut the sides of my mouth.
It needs to be a little bit more rounded and a smoother insertion.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
then once I have like cuts on the side of my mouth, well then the salt from the chip is going to get in there, and no one's going to enjoy that.
No.
Now, that's great. I love that. Can you program it to where it will randomly miss my mouth and then
No,
it'll
no.
comically like hit me in the forehead or something like
Yeah.
that?
It won't randomly miss your mouth because
Uh-huh.
then it's being programmed to do it.
You can set it on a random generator. It could
That's
be,
what we'll do.
that's what you'll come in and do the math.
Yeah.
No,
Or we can
what
ask
I'm
one of the
saying
math
is that-
shadows to do
Is
it.
that if you're going to be strapped down, it has to aim
Whoa, talk about strap.
for the same 10% spot, and then you have to adjust, but you can't move.
Oh damn.
How did this whole intro turn sexual? Damn it. Just kidding. It's funny.
Because we're sexy and we know it.
Again, we're gonna need to get one of the math shadows. We're gonna have to get one of the chip shadows, and we're gonna have to get one of the queso shadows. They're gonna have to work with you to make this contraption work.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to get a chair shadow so that he can make the chair.
Isn't queso blanco white cheese?
Okay, well, do you want the white cheese shadow or do you want the cheddar cheese shadow?
That's what I was going to ask, was like the yellow cheese shadow would be a different shadow, and that means we have to track him down, but we already know where queso blanco shadow is.
Here's the thing about queso blanco shadow. He works really well with cheddar shadow. So I think they should collaborate on this project.
That's probably true.
But what kind of cheese is made with Doritos?
That's not real cheese.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Oh, that makes sense.
We've all
do you
spoken
think
to
that-
Dorito Shadow.
Do you
so
think that do you think that queso blanco shadow and cheddar shadow are like on good terms with Pasta Shadow Squad? Because Pasta Shadow Squad, like specifically macaroni, I heard is their homeboy.
here's the thing. Queso Blanco Shadow, Macaroni Shadow, and Pasta Shadow, they're all good. Pasta Shadow is not good with Queso Blanco. I'm sorry, with cheddar.
That's
Okay?
what I was gonna say. 'Cause, like,
Macaroni's only good with cheddar right now. Everybody else is kind of having a falling out with cheddar. So, yeah.
It's always one.
It's
always one.
It's not his fault. It's his personality. He's really strong. Sharp, some might say. On that, welcome, motherfuckers. We are Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, your movie review podcast. We are your source for your light and heavy nerd needs. We'll tell you what medias you should be watching, as well as any other dope medias for the nerd soul. I am your wee boy posing as a functioning member of society, Alex.
that he is. I am the gaming shadow, known as the gaming guru.
Hold on. He's writing something. Let me see.
Translation.
Let me read that.
Translation.
Let's wait till he's done. And what this gentleman over here just wrote. Let me see.
I'm just trying to draw your beard.
It looked like you wrote, "You're the super shy, super strong mogul Nakansi."
Oh yeah, that too.
Man, we really need new translation glasses too. How are we supposed to keep up with the subtitles when we're there? Like,
We'll talk
on
to
set?
Glasses Shadow. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. Today,
I
guys.
heard he really, really likes Austin Powers. That's where he got the idea for those.
Yep,
Schmuck and a pancake.
he does that too. So today, guys, we have been honored by a production studio, a Jacob Kiesling and Zach Schlapkohl
And Ethan Cartwright.
from West of Midway Productions. And they came to us with a movie that they started. It's called What Doesn't Kill Us. Conti, why don't you go a little bit into what that's all about?
Yes, they made this movie still in college, and this was a movie they started shooting back in Texas on a budget of nearly nothing. Now, 4 years later in Los Angeles, they are taking their final steps in preparation to share their movie with the world in a festival run starting next year,
Yes,
2019.
they're going to be making a run for all the independent movie festivals next year. So we are super honored that they came to us to review it, and we're so stoked to share it with you guys because this movie was amazing.
It was freaking hilarious.
So great.
It was really out of left field because we didn't know what we were getting into.
Exactly. It's funny because we really didn't know what we were getting into. We really
Had zero expectations.
didn't know.
Like, what was it? I think the emails just told us that it was a zombie mockumentary, and I was like, that could mean anything.
That could be anything. So
All three of us didn't know what we were getting into.
pleasantly surprised, guys. But before we get into that, we have to get into our segment called Before We Get Into That.
But before we get into that,
Uh-huh.
I think we usually open with my corner, and my corner is like right over here.
Let's go into your corner. Let's kick it in your corner. What you got for us today?
Lots of smiley faces and a little bit devil faces and some heart emojis.
I am
Yeah,
digging your emoji.
these
pajama
emoji
pants.
these emoji pants. You know, they don't think like it do, but it is.
What a cat do.
Yeah.
What a cat do.
You know,
What
it's
a
like
girl wants.
You know, when you need to be a ninja, camouflage could mean anything.
Do you remember Kit and Caboodle?
I've heard that term. I don't know what it is.
It's really weird. It's
Is it a
this little
sexual act?
No, it's a container that like you put your makeup in, but it's called a kitten caboodle.
Kitten caboodle?
Like
That's-
KIT and caboodle. I don't know what a caboodle is, but kitten. My mom used to have it.
I loved that thing.
That sounds like an like
It basically is a tackle box. You know,
He
like for
loves
big-
it. He loves it because
It's-
he used to wear so much makeup.
Why you gonna be like that?
I'm
about
just
it?
kidding. I'm just
You-
kidding.
You gotta learn
But you
somewhere.
I love it. I love it so much. I love it. I just love it.
We digress.
we do digress.
In today's game corner, I wanted to just shout out to Sonic Fox from the Echo Fox team for winning the what I believe it was best esports player at the Game Awards. The Game Awards are what I think they're 4 or 5 years old now, and while I don't agree with everything that they get put up on, I mean, you know, it's an opinion and it's voted in, and you know, probably people as smart as me are doing it rather than people not as smart as me.
So they vote in the games that they're going to bring to the competition.
I don't know exactly. I just know that, you know, a lot of people get to review it, and a lot of people get to gather together and get whatever scores they want to call it. This year's Game Awards had God of War got Game of the Year, but Red Dead Redemption took like 5 awards for a bunch of different categories.
Okay. That's dope.
And I mean, I can't disagree with that, even though I don't wholeheartedly agree with it. Like, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty wild.
Red Dead Redemption came out pretty late in the year, right?
Yeah, it came out like August?
In October.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna
See, I'm even 2 months off of that. When did God of War 4 come out?
Like beginning of summer.
yeah,
Yeah, there we
halfway
go.
through. So for sure it's gonna get more awards, but I think we'll probably see it next year, right? Like get it. Red Dead Redemption. That's
Yeah.
hard to say.
Red Dead Redemption.
God
God of War is an amazing game.
Yeah.
God, I'm so pissed that I got
When
a
you think about
Xbox.
storytelling, there's a lot of subtle things that are being told to the player strictly through the environment that you don't inherently think about, right? but they will have an impact on storytelling. A really popular thing in just a lot of games of this kind of adventure style, going back as far as like Mega Man and Metroidvania kind of thing, is to show you how powerful you are. Which in this case, in God of War, we really don't need to know any more than he's been in 3 games. He's done it. He's slayed 2 different pantheons and tried to settle down, and we know how powerful he is. And yet you still have to overcome different challenges, right?
That's cool.
Right? So
Like having a boy.
There's nothing harder than my boy.
But yeah, so I mean, in general, with one of the lessons that they go over without even strictly telling you about it, really, is dealing with disappointment. Things aren't always going to go your way. And that's pretty much one of the biggest moral stories of God of War, or particularly this story.
You hear that, parents? Throwing shade on God of War. Oh, that game's too graphic. They have like weird prostitute scenes where you get more points and more life points. All right, yeah, fine. Did I do it 10 times in the row until
Maybe.
you only got 1 ghost spirit for the thing?
Maybe you did.
Maybe. But I learned how to deal with disappointment too.
Yeah, it's like breaking their necks and wings off of their bodies and hearing their bones crunch.
And I also learned that having sex 10 times in a row has diminishing returns.
Crunch.
That's what they were showing you.
Crunch.
You literally got diminishing returns for
Bones
your souls.
crunching. Nice bones.
Big brain.
Crunching.
Anyway, so that's there was a lot going on this year's Game Awards, and I mean I could rant about it forever, but I really want to just talk about
Ooh, yeah.
Smash Ultimate.
Tell me what your feelings about this.
So Smash Ultimate is by far the biggest roster in Smash.
How many characters?
Mathematically, I believe it depends on if you, because
And that was Khan's rap break. Now back to your regular scheduled Khan's Game Corner.
so Mii fighters count as 3 characters, but even inside of that, you can have different combinations of their special moves.
Wait, why do they count as 3 characters?
Because-
One Mii fighter counts as 3?
Is it kind of like Pokemon Trainer? Like,
Well, that's what I was gonna get to. So Pokemon Trainer has is 1 character on in the roster that you pick, but he has 3 Pokemon, and they have a down B that switches through the Pokemon. So they're missing 1 move technically, but you get the flexibility of swapping your characters.
so is it still?
But with Mii Fighter, it's you set up its special moves. There are 3 different special moves for all 4 special move types, and on top of that, there are 3 different styles.
Oh my god! Like fight styles, like
Yeah,
like
so
melee.
like
sounds
there's a-
amazing.
That
there's
sounds
Mii-
so dope! Oh my
so
god!
Mii fighters are brawlers, which is just punchies and kickies, and then there's sword fighting, which is
Punchies and kickies.
which is slashies and stabbies.
Slashies and stabbies. I
What
love
kind of a fighter are you?
I'm a punchies and kickies.
And then there
fighter.
is Mii Gunner, which is explodies and shooties.
Yes.
So, well, not counting Mii fighters, which are the people you can create, right?
Yeah.
How many characters are there?
There's
Not
like-
counting the create
There's
your own.
supposed to be about 70.
That's a crazy number.
Whoa.
So
That's
like,
a lot of different characters.
I was gonna make a bad joke and say 69, but then I was like, wait, no, I might be miscounting. I already threw it in.
We've already. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind. It's too late.
Yeah.
We've already started this show hypersexual.
I think you
The
wanted to
tension is in the air. Just
just cut it with a knife. Take a bite out of it.
ASMR.
Oh, girl. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Wait. That was pretty refreshing. Hold on. This is refreshing.
Oh my god, it's so good. I thought I was listening to a commercial. You didn't mean to make it that good, did you?
No,
just
it's better than I
natural.
thought it was. Wow.
It's because it's bacon.
Fucking love bacon. You try it.
Why the
Can
Also,
I try
why
one?
the fuck are you eating a
Here,
plate
you try it.
of bacon?
Because
You-
I brought home like 4 packages from work.
So, Con, what are your what are the top 3 new favorite characters that you want to bring us today?
One of my so the first thing is that this is all of the returning characters, like actually all of these characters came from previous games in the franchise, and I think there's only 6 new characters at the moment, give or take.
Okay.
And then we'll have DLC later on.
Tell me more.
Does she look like a bitch?
Tell me more. Tell me more. Did she put up a fight? Okay. That is.
So, this is the thing that gets me super excited.
Just gonna
I'm pretty sure those are not the lyrics.
just gonna bulldoze right past that. Like borderline rape lyric from the Grease that I just realized. I need to talk to my mom.
Fucking Grease. John Travolta. Okay.
Holy shit. My childhood. Okay. Recover. Top 3 new favorite characters. Catch
So
out.
again, this is just the Smash 4 engine slightly retuned, and we brought back all of the old characters. I want to special honor mention that one of the characters was only in one game, and then it was in the mod of the game for Brawl called Project M, which the idea behind that was to make Brawl more competitive and then more like melee.
What's his name?
Snake.
Oh, honorable.
Solid Snake. Solid is President Snake, right?
Honorable
Yeah, he's the original.
mention.
That's what I thought.
Snake.
I was trying to remember because like Venom Snake is specifically MG5. Like, we plastic surgery your face, Snake.
There's so many snakes. It's a crazy story.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Solid Snake is back in the game.
Great.
Special honor there. But actual new characters that I'm having a ton of fun with. Incineroar, the Pokemon from the Alola region.
Ooh, is that one of the starters?
He's the fire starter, and then he becomes
Sick.
fire dark because in Pokemon has a tendency to literally pigeonhole their Pokemon, their starter Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and for like 7 out of 9 generations, give or take, firefighting seems like a good option.
Yeah.
Give it to him. Give it to him again.
Uh-huh.
Give it to him a 5th time. Give it to him again. Can we come up with anything else? No, they like it. They love it. It's always a top tier Pokemon if it's firefighting.
I mean, it's the reason why Ash Ketchum's been 11 since I was 11. So,
He's really cool. He has really bad recovery, but at the same time, he has the potential for just super crazy setups because Incineroar himself is basically a luchador fire dark cat.
that's super dope.
Right?
Yeah.
And so one of his specials is he dashes at you, grabs you, and turnbuckles you with like an Irish whip.
That's
Do you
insane.
know that move, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's called the Alolan Whip, but the point being, like, it's a setup. It's really good. He does a lot of damage. He has a counter that is called Revenge. It's based on the move in Pokemon called Revenge, where you take damage and then you deal like twice as much damage as you took.
Oh, okay.
And then that's probably one of my top favorites. Not the number one. I'm saving that guy for last.
Okay.
And it's a hard decision.
Number 2.
Number 2, I'd have to give it to the new big boy on the block, King K. Rool.
King K. Rool.
Yeah, he's the Donkey Kong villain,
Oh, yeah.
and he's actually really bonkers.
Really?
He has special super armor,
Uh-huh.
which in armor generally meaning like if you would take a hit while you're in the middle of doing a move, you don't flinch and it doesn't stop.
Whoa.
But super armor actually just like negates damage on top of that, generally speaking. So a lot of his moves are just like, oh, he pulled out his gun and he's still pulled out. Oh, bam. You couldn't stop him.
That's crazy. Even
Yeah.
though like normally you would be able to hit him and stop his attack.
Yeah, and
From
he's
building
got
up.
he has this really weird. I don't know how it happens half of the time, but his side B throws his crown out, and it's a really slow boomerang, so it's a really good projectile.
Huh.
Which heavy characters tend to not have projectile game.
Yeah, because they do. Okay, so like they do a great job with Bowser, making him a really difficult character to like fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they must have done a really good job with K. Rool.
Yeah,
like,
K. Rool is just he's got a lot in his kit. He's really cool. And he hits like a truck. Heavy characters hit like a truck.
Fuck yeah. Number 1.
My number one is kind of a cop out, and that's because I haven't figured out the difference between the two really. So, Smash Ultimate introduced this thing, what they're calling Echo Fighters. And the idea here is that you have a character who has the same moveset as another character, but is different.
Okay, that happens sometimes.
You know, like think about back in Melee, there was Captain Falcon
And
then there was
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like there was Mario, and then there's Dr. Mario. They're the same character. Or Pikachu and Pichu.
Right.
So the point being that the idea of Echo Fighters isn't new, but they kind of address it by showcasing more of what makes some of these characters different.
Sure.
Point being that Richter Belmont and Simon Belmont. I am a huge Castlevania fan, as you have heard me recommend Castlevania from Netflix several times.
It's amazing.
And also talked about many Metroidvania games.
I liked all 3 episodes of the ones that I watched. Go on.
There's only 4 episodes in the first season.
I'm almost done.
I know. But just a really, really cool character. I don't know how to play him because I'm bad, but his special move, both of them have the same special move set, which is down B throws holy water, little glass of holy water, which is, from their game.
Oh, this is inconvenient.
Neutral B throws it lights on fire. It's holy fire.
Oh, shitballs.
Neutral B throws an axe that goes in an arc, like a parabolic arc. It goes wee,
Oh, that's fun.
and it kills people.
Oh.
And then their side B throws holy boomerang. It's a cross, but it boomerangs.
That's-
We all know.
It's great.
And then their up B is it's a Shoryuken punch. Like that's got to be where it's just an uppercut. Then they leap into the sky.
It's fucking dope, dude.
But I recently found out, as in the game's been out since last Friday. Like I just really recently found out.
What date is that? Last Friday was
The
December 7th. Okay.
So I just found out that they have shit recovery. They can't get back on the stage.
Oh.
That's supposed to be one of their downfalls. When you design a character, somewhere something's got to give, right? So if they can't get back on the stage, well, what other things can they do? Well, they keep people away.
You mean they can't be all Kirby and Jigglypuff? God damn. With the recovery. This is a bad
Point
joke.
being
Sorry.
that. No, I mean, holy diver. That's the joke I do when I play Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
Point being that they you can forward air or back air, and it throws out the whip because that's their main weapon.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
they throw out the whip, and you can tether to the ledge.
Get back up on the ledge.
Yeah, which is really important in the recovery game.
So I'm going to end today's game corner with a Yes Man favorite. For all the people, for all the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate people who've gotten close to the edge and thought they were going to fall off. And I feel like this song will help you guys get back into the action, back into the fray. Okay, here it goes. Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could make ties with all the lies that you've been breaking in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. Khan's Game Corner. So, in our recommendations, up next is our super buff, super strong shy boy Nakansi. What you got for us, Bob?
Jackie Chan's new memoir
Yes.
called Never Grow Up.
This is an amazing book, not only for film buffs of kung fu, but just in general. Everybody needs to read this book. You will fall in love with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you were telling me that like this book really goes into his hardships and like and his anxieties that he would deal with when he was, because he does all his own stunts, right?
Yes, and not only anxiety of before he goes into a stunt, but it goes into basically everything people don't hear about.
Right.
They don't hear about your downfalls.
Right.
They only see your successes. They don't hear about all that hard work you put in, all of that, how you deal with the stresses.
It's like Jackie Chan raw, right?
Yeah, and he explains it very simply when they wanted him to be the next Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, but I'm not Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
I just want to portray an everyday man.
Yeah.
And he does that. All of his characters deal with flaws.
Right.
And that they don't want to fight. None of his characters want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to. And when they got to strap on their boots, they do.
That's cool.
And
I like that.
That's a fighter.
Yeah.
And it also goes into this book is so amazing.
There was one that you were telling me particularly about a clock tower.
Yes, that was my favorite. One of my favorite moments of the book is when he explains his one of his stunts. He has to hold on to this giant clock tower hand, and it took them 7 days to shoot before he actually did it.
Jesus Christ.
Every single time he'd walk up, be like, oh, all right, okay. The sun is not quite right today. Let's go back.
Because his stunt team
would just, if he was ever nervous of something, they would pull him back.
Okay.
He'd be like, okay, if I'm too nervous, then it's too much doubt in my mind. So
he's like, pull me back if I seem nervous.
Because if he does it with some too much doubt, he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck it up. Yeah, you don't want to fuck that shit up.
Second day, he's like, something. The clouds are too dark.
Bad lighting.
Bad lighting.
Yeah,
bad lighting.
Stars. Not aligned.
Finally,
Not today.
on the 6th day, he was shooting this film with one of his kung fu brothers, Sammo Hung, and they had to park so far away from the actual shoot that they had to walk every day. And so the same spot, Sammo Hung finally said, "What are you doing? You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. But I'm tired of walking all the way over here just to watch you not do it." And then Jackie's like all the way up there. He's like, "Well, then do you want to direct it?" He's like, "Yeah, fine. I'll direct it." And Jackie's like, "Okay, fine. You direct it. Direct this part." He's like, "Okay, you just jump."
It's that simple, Jackie.
Yeah. Either you're gonna jump or not, but I'm tired. And then Jackie finally looked at his stunt crew. He's like, "Okay, don't come up here with me. Just go back down."
So they can't pull him back.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So
yeah.
And the stunt, he had to basically hold on to the clock hand until he couldn't hold on anymore, and then fall.
Wow.
So he had to hold it until his arms were shaking, so he would naturally let go.
Holy shit.
And then fall. So have enough energy to control your body to fall correctly. And he was falling on these canopy tents, kind of like when Aladdin jumps on those things.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And he had to fall just right on each one, or else he would just break himself.
Damn. That's crazy.
And not only did he do that take once, he did it twice.
Shit.
Because he is a beast.
That's cool, man. So, Memoirs of Jackie Chan.
Yes.
A must read. I need to get that shit. I need to like listen to books on Audible. I think that's one that I'm gonna do. Anything else for us today? I think you had a couple albums, right?
I do. Ice Cube just released a new album.
Oh.
His 10th solo album.
Right.
His last solo album he released 8 years ago.
Whoa.
and he released 2 music videos already for it, complete a cappella. So you can just listen to his spoken word poetry, and it is poetry, street poetry.
You know what? I'm gonna listen to it.
It's fantastic.
All right.
That shit hits hard.
I just realized, like, 8 years ago, he could have had a kid, and his other kid could have graduated.
Yeah.
Like, that's long.
He has kids.
I know, but I
But
meant,
like another kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't remember how old his youngest was, but I was like, what?
This album will make you want to go watch Straight Outta Compton again.
Damn. Okay.
And then my last music recommendation is a Japanese band by the name of
9mm.
Parabellum Bullet.
Yeah.
And I heard them off of the Berserk intro, and then I just like their guitar riffs are crazy, so I just pulled it up and I've been listening to them nonstop.
I think what is it? The name of the album that you're talking about? Babel?
Yep, Babel.
Hell yeah. No, I've been
'cause-
listening to that one since you told me about it. It's fucking dope.
I mean, I recognized the name when you said it. I just didn't recognize where I'd heard it other than Berserk. And it turns out that Spotify does a really good job when you put a couple of songs together and make a playlist radio.
Yeah.
Spotify
I
kind of
like-
does an amazing job, and I like how I can set up my own playlist as well.
Yeah.
And then they have a bunch of discoveries based off of what you listen to.
Spotify's killing the game, dude. And again, 9mm Parabellum Bullet is they're like a powerhouse J-rock band. Yeah, it gets you pumped up. I love it. So
It makes you want to go watch Beck, the Mongolian Chop Squad.
yeah.
Very different. Yeah, like specifically, I was bringing it up because have you seen Your Name? Kimi no Nawa.
I see my name everywhere.
Nani? No, the anime movie.
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah. So I actually heard the band that did the soundtrack for that prior to that, and I was like losing my shit when I found out that they did the whole soundtrack, and they have that album on they just have it as an album, but it's pretty much the score for the movie is on Spotify. It's rad. The band is Rad Wimps,
Okay.
all caps, as is very J-rock.
Fantastic. We got 2 J-rock things. Can I do my recommendation,
Never.
guys?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I'm excited for yours.
Hand me bacon, then you can do it.
Super shy strong boy says I can do it, so I'm going to do it.
God dang it, Mom. The bacon.
Okay. So my recommendation is very near and dear to my heart. I am bringing to you guys a Netflix special, a one-man show called John Leguizamo's Latin History for Morons. I was super skeptical because I'm a if you guys can't tell, I'm a pretty Americanized Latino. In fact, you guys may have not realized I was Latino until I said Latino. But this is an amazing story about American history and how Latin folk were involved in it and how we were written out of it in the American history textbooks and John's frustrations. So basically he's recounting his experience with his son who's in middle school, who's being bullied. He's like in this private school and he's being bullied, and he has to, one of his class projects, he has to come up with a historic hero to him and why he's the hero. And John is trying to help him realize his identity as a Latino kid and find some history about our culture, our people. And as he's going through all the history books and that is in his school, he's realizing where the fuck are we? Our timeline is basically from the ancient Mayans, and then all this stuff blank, nothing. We have nothing, and then Pitbull.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he mentions Pitbull and The Wall.
It's literally it. So it's really cool. One, it's hilarious, like super relatable.
I wish we would have seen it live. Because
Yeah.
he was over in LA.
He was doing it on Broadway for
Yeah.
like a while. I think he had like a regular spot. And again, it really made me come in touch with that heritage. I know, not to sound cheesy, but
The word is
seriously.
resonate. Okay,
Is that it?
That would it resonates with you.
Well, I'm just laughing because you said come and touch.
Come.
It's
And
usually
that's
touch
why
It made me
and
come, and then I touched.
Yeah, that makes more
Which is
sense.
usually like not in that order. I
That's
usually
why-
touch,
I knew it because
Come
that's
and
why
touch.
that's why he broke.
then I come. It really got me in touch with that side of my heritage that I didn't know even existed, man. And it really asks some important questions, like what would this country think of Latinos if we were written in the history textbooks, and how we were part of every war and helped build this nation, including donating $70,000 worth of weapons to George Washington, the father of our country, so that he can go off and win the war, you know? And what would we think of ourselves as Latinos? So it's a really cool watch. I really recommend it to
Everyone.
Latinos and Americans.
It's an amazing. I
It's-
watched it and
yeah.
I could not stop.
Yeah.
I was just like so engaged throughout the whole thing.
Mhm.
And I hope once people see this, it gives you different perspectives. But I hope that people start going back and learning their heritage
yeah.
as well.
And what your specific culture contributed to the building of this nation. Because if we actually wrote it the way it was, and not just from one perspective, I really feel like it would unite us all. We would be like, hey, brother, you Chinese brother, you Mexican brother, you white brother, whatever. We worked together to build what we have now. And let's continue.
Is this a bad time for a joke about how the military already goes, oh yeah, brother? Because they do it a lot in movies.
The answer is yes, it was a terrible. I'm just kidding.
Everybody just needs to watch that
Mhm.
and then go watch The Expendables
Huh?
Yeah, brother. That was
with Sylvester Stallone,
Oh,
Terry Crews,
Jet Li,
Jet Li.
Chuck Norris, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whole
man.
ensemble.
Assemble. All right, so
Assemblage.
we had a very almost.
Ensemble. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I know.
Now, for the main reason we are brought together tonight.
The honor of reviewing this zombie mockumentary, What Doesn't Kill Us. Yo, this shit was... Again, I had no idea what we were going into, and they did a really good job of helping us somehow relate to this fake character, this zombie. So, to give
Don't
you guys...
call it zombie.
I'm sorry.
That's rude.
A necrosapien, guys.
Yeah.
That's the PC, the politically correct way to say it.
Speaking of PC, this movie was really tongue in cheek about being PC. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.
I thought that part was brilliant.
Like,
They just these filmmakers. I cannot wait to see what they make in the future.
Yeah.
Their
Right.
comedic timing was phenomenal. The whole thing.
So before we get into a little, our impressions, I want to tell you guys what this movie's about. Again, it's a zombie mockumentary about this outbreak that turned people into zombies, and they
rehabilitated.
found the cure and they rehabilitated them into society, but unfortunately the decaying of their bodies, right? This, the ashiness that comes from being a zombie still kind of stuck around, but they're able to function and live as a normal human being, and just some of the prejudices that they have to go through as being a necrosapien.
I said the word because I knew you would stumble on it. For the future.
So again, it It was super hilarious. It really made you connect to the three characters that we were following. So we were following like a sales rep, a guy who's like in a telemarketing sales job position, a high school kid who was like when he was
I'm gonna go MLB.
yeah, he was trying to become a major league player, and then like what was the
I think
third?
he's older.
He might have been like
College.
college, yeah. And then a third girl who wasn't a necrosaping or zombie, who's we find out. Is this a spoiler alert if I say it?
I think they should just watch it. This is somebody who is helping run a campaign for
His name
necrosapien that wants to become a mayor.
His name is Basil. He wants to become a yes.
He
And
wants to
she
be
is a-
Governor Basil.
She is a full supporter, and you'll find out why she's a full supporter, which is such a good story. All these are little good stories, all
Yeah.
put together, tied up in a nice little gift box that I wish could be delivered for your Christmas present. But listen to this, and then you'll get your Christmas present next year at the festival runs.
That's right. Oh, is that a knock at the door? I think you should get it. Go ahead and open it. What's behind it? Your day trip to an independent film festival.
A little translation work here, real quick. Hold on.
That's right. We just wrote you a check to get you over to the independent film festival so that you can watch What Doesn't Kill Us. Okay?
It was just words.
Yeah, I know. I really liked the character who was helping campaign. She was a great actress. First of all, she was like this quirky,
She was so quirky. It was
like
hilarious.
that person at work who's way too into their job.
But
and
you just love their passion, their enthusiasm.
like I like how they made you kind of hate her at first. You're like, oh, everybody knows that girl at work that you just try to avoid and not fuck with at work.
You're like, why is it so serious?
Yeah.
It's too serious.
And then they make you love her. So this is such great direction. Something we haven't done in a while is we haven't counted fight scenes. Now, since this isn't a traditional kung fu film, we don't worry, little bunnies. We found some fight scenes for you guys, and we're going to bring them to you today.
We did.
Yep,
Oh, I get it, because you can make bunny shadows with your hands.
that's right. Bunny Shadow. I love Bunny Shadow. Isn't she great? Anyway, so the fight scenes that we found for you today are thus.
1, pool hall. 2, fan heckler. I'm going to name a few more and then we'll actually talk about them. 3, fight with girlfriend. Sex before work. Fight with girlfriend. Fight over movie. Honorable mentions. Pizza fight. Party outbreak. Birthday. And water jug.
Let's get into these motherfuckers. So number 1, pool hall. This was basically the scene where the gentleman who's trying to become a baseball player, his name is Jeremy Holland. And he basically has a lot of like regular non-necrosapien friends, and they fuck with him about his zombiness, and he kind of just puts up with it. They say some kind of ignorant remarks about it. So one of his normal friends meets him at a pool hall, and Jeremy is hanging out with one of his necrosapien friends. His normal friend walks up to him and says, "What's up, my necro?" And the zombie friend, who's a white dude, got mad because he used the N-word. And it was just so delicious.
That scene was it was set up just so well. Like,
Yeah.
You could, at first, you're like, oh, okay, there's a pool hall scene. But then, again, just, I kind of have to push that. It was a white zombie. And, like, at this point in the film, you kind of get that, like I was saying earlier, they're joking about being PC.
Yeah.
You know, like, not that you shouldn't be a little more PC, but, like, there's humor in it.
There is. And they really touched on that. So after the normal human friend took it a little too far, commence bar fight. Amazing. Fight scene number 2.
Fan heckler.
We had the most stereotypical, like,
That guy was pale. I thought he was
pale.
a zombie.
Doing a very late 80s movie heckling. It was so signature. It was so classic that you just couldn't be mad at it. And he even ended it with a beautiful moon.
Full moon.
Full moon. Who still does that
A full moon.
on the baseball field?
Yeah, I haven't seen that in ages.
I
I think
haven't.
people have forgotten about the full moon.
People need to bring that back.
Yeah, usually
Or-
it's happening on like road trips,
Uh-huh.
and you just like do a full moon to the cars that you're driving by.
You're just minding your own business, watching all the beautiful scenery, the mountains, the trees, and oh my god, that's the whitest ass I've ever seen.
Or darkest. Or mid brown.
Sometimes they spread their cheeks, and you're like, "There's a
Ew, gross. Way to take it too,
Too
far.
man.
Too far.
You press them too hard against the glass.
They work hard.
So that was fight scene number 2. Fight scene number 3.
Fight with girlfriend. Sex before work.
This is when I got sucked way too far into the movie.
You're like,
You went from
sold.
this is-
Sold. 100% relatable. 110% relatable.
It's like I had this fight, literally not even a fight a week ago. The
You're
guy,
like, fuck yeah.
the guy is, I feel you, brother. The guy is, this is the salesman trying to get the promotion, but just coming against like like freaking obstacles because he's a zombie and they're not giving him that promotion. Not only that, he's trying to have a baby with his GF, and what happens? He's trying to get ready for work, and she's over there like, "Hey, what's up, boo? Let's try to do this thing right now." He's like, "I'm sorry, but I'm super stressed. Look, I love you. There's nothing more that I want to do than take down and fondle with your dirties. But I got to get to work. I got to make us money." She's like, "Fine, go then." He's like, "Please don't give me that attitude. I'm not trying to offend you." "No, you didn't offend me." And the truth is, he did offend her. And he still had to go to work to be on time. And have had that,
and
guys.
then he still had to get cucked out of his promotion.
I don't know what was better. Watching that moment or watching that moment with you and you watching the moment together. I want everybody just to find their own Alex and watch this part of the film. Maybe we'll reenact it.
First of all, just be single and get a bunch of other single friends, and then find one married friend. And just watch them struggle.
Let me show you. Well, I can't. Let me explain to you how Alex. Well, so we're watching this movie and we're already cracking up. It was just nonstop hilarious. We were asking questions during the film like, why is there a lotion bottle by his computer monitor? And they just keep showing it. And then all of a sudden this part happens where the guy's like, "I gotta go. I can't have sex with you." And then Alex just kind of slowly stands up and he goes,
You hold strong, damn it. You hold strong, brother.
and I was like, all right, well, I guess Alex likes this movie.
That was amazing. Okay, fight scene number 4, or are we on to honorable mentions?
We got one more. There's another fight with the girlfriend, and it's a fight over choosing a red box film, which was a really good little segment, because there are some times where I've gone to rent a movie and I was like, "Oh, you don't understand. That is the most stereotypical Asian film, and I really don't want to watch that right now."
Yeah.
It's a complete stereotype.
And then
We're not all stoners.
what? That's
Yeah.
the stereotype?
Yeah.
The Asians are stoners?
Yeah, Asian Americans in films, so many of them stoners.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got a list of movies for you to watch.
So basically,
About stoners.
the movie was like slightly zombie themed, and the salesman didn't want, the dude didn't want to watch it, and
But it wasn't zombie themed.
But it
But
wasn't.
it involved cannibals, and he's like, oh, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, and it's just that fight where it's just it's just that moment where you're going through your own shit, but you still gotta man up and be there for your significant other, like put yourself aside, and he did that shit, and I love that because that shit was so real.
He came back and he was like, babe, I got a movie for us to watch.
I got you the movie. Yeah. It was a zombie movie. That dude stepped up as a man. It was a fight scene with himself.
He put away his ego.
And he took out his heart. Honorable mentions.
Boop, 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 boop. Pizza fight. This shit was hilarious because it like was thrown smack dab in the middle of the film and then didn't really conclude till the very end. And the connection that you get is, okay, so this zombie, this necrosapien, goes and orders a pizza but gets the wrong pizza. And he gets so mad. And the guy's like, fuck you, man. I'm not getting you another pizza. Get the fuck out of here. And he just he just throws the pizza on the ground. And then he has to go to basically counseling to work through his anger issues because he is so angry.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to bite people's heads off. and not till the very end of the film do they bring it back up, and it just shoots right to his speech. He's like,
Oh, spoiler alert.
he's like
Let's be careful.
he's like, sorry, but the pizza that you gave me was incorrect. I ordered this pizza and I got this pizza. If it's not an inconvenience, could we get the correct pizza that I wanted? And then everybody's like, yes, here's your new pizza.
It was a pretty big moment. Yeah, I love Wrong Pizza Guy. Second honorable mention.
Birthday party outbreak.
There's nothing like birthday cake and a chunk of someone's flesh off of their arm.
They did a fantastic job with this part because the whole film you're like, okay, this comedy is a mockumentary. and they just poke fun at a bunch of different things in our society, but also with these zombie stories. And then it just breaks down with the same panic attack music of what you see in all zombie movies.
Yes.
Heavy
just-
metal thrash.
Yes, and people just running everywhere and zombies just gnawing on people.
Yeah, they did a good
Yeah.
job of like bringing it back. Like, oh, we're still touching on the genre. We're still doing it justice.
This is still a movie for zombie fans.
Yeah, fucking dope. Okay, those are all the fight scene, guys. Super enjoyable. We're gonna get into some.
What the fuck moments? Actually, no, badass moments.
Yeah, let's end on a
We'll
high
end
note.
with what the fuck moments.
Yes. Okay, badass moments. What do you guys got?
Personally, there is there's a scene that just involves Bridget, I think that was her name, doing the like door-to-door booster.
Oh, that was the campaigner.
Yeah, the campaigner. And I got a really good like Shaun of the Dead like cut and show off this gun doing its action, cut again to a different gun, like just that kind of slapstick, that kind of like crazy excessive action scening.
Yes, you really
And
got.
it was like this just I mean they're in Texas, but this guy is just like showing off like, oh, don't worry about them necrosapiens. I got what's this?
Tire arsenal. Yeah.
And then it was great. It was great. Trying not to spoil too much about all the punchlines in this film. This film was great.
I know,
man.
so many great punchlines, but I think that's when like I really fell in love with Bridget's character. One of my badass moments was I really want to give a fat shout out to that guitar playing duo They were fucking awesome. They again, this music was a lot of original music as far as I know, and these guys, you got to see these two guys dressed as Necrosapiens, right? And they were just shredding on acoustic guitars, playing bluesy, folky, dope music that really went with the scene or whatever moment these characters were going through. So I want to give a shout out to those guys, just frankly because I'm a huge fan of the guitar, and you guys were shredders.
Well said.
Let's go on to what the fuck moments.
Yes.
The whole movie was unexpectedly like, what are we watching?
Yes.
This is brilliant.
One of my what the fuck moments was, well, the sales rep and his girlfriend, they're trying to have a baby. And it already starts out hilarious because they're in the office waiting, and you already know what's gonna happen because it's just a really long pause, and he looks at this kind of model of a woman's womb, and he just opens it, and then the fetus falls out. But usually, I've never seen that before. The fetus, like they actually have the model where it's the fetus instead of all the
like
other organs.
Like the baby flies out on the floor, and then the nurse comes out as he's frantically trying to put it back together. And the girlfriend's just sitting there, just rolling her eyes and being like, God damn it, I can't take you anywhere. It's so great.
Big relatable.
It's such a man-child moment, and I fucking relate to that shit so hard.
And then they go into the doctor's office, and the first thing you see, even I was like, "What the fuck is that?" That has to be man-made, as in they only made this for the movie.
Like they made it specifically for this movie, yeah.
Because all of the proportions they were obviously off, but they just had this giant. Okay, so it's the bottom half of a torso.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't really show ass cheeks. This mannequin model didn't have ass cheeks.
But it somehow still had the crater.
But it had a very small scrotum, no penis, but a giant dark hole of an abyss for its asshole.
Dude, I think it was
Brilliant.
literally one of those like ones that you can have sex with. Do you know what I'm talking about now that I think about it?
No, I don't. Oh, maybe like a blow-up doll, but the mannequin thing.
Yeah, like
The
those.
Japanese call it an
Yeah.
onoho.
Well, there you go.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You've out-weebed me.
Yeah, can you
So-
I'm not proud of that, though.
West of Midway Productions, can you fact check us and let us know if what you used was a sex doll?
Just an amazing prop, guys. Amazing use of prop, and great job just like keeping it in the shot so that we're just like, I know this is supposed to be a serious moment, but god damn it, I can still see it.
It was such a serious moment, but the whole time the sales rep and the doctor and his girlfriend, they're having such an intense conversation, but the sales rep keeps staring.
It's just like I can't not look at it. All right, guys, that is our pod. What is it? West
Of Midway Productions.
of Midway Productions. Thank you so much for getting us on here to review it for you guys. Listeners, seriously go out and check that out. As soon as we find an independent film festival, we're going to go and look for that film and watch it again.
Yeah, we're going to support the heck out of this film.
These guys need to continue making movies.
They need to make TV shows. They need to make everything.
Oh my God. I
I
think
need their comedy.
That's a special honorable end of podcast mention is the sitcom My Daughters Kill Me.
Oh,
That
yes.
was such a good
We're just going to leave it there.
You will all see it. But definitely, I give this film a rating of badass.
This is
And
badass film.
Not talking about that sex doll.
Not dad ass.
I mean, like
Not
that,
dad ass, but fat ass.
But fat-
I mean, no,
badass.
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 I will also give it a badass, a fat badass.
3 bad asses. That's 6 moons.
That is 6 of them.
That is 666.
which is good luck in China, guys. Actually, that means good fortune. Anyway, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HSTSC33. We're on Facebook for Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. Guys, follow us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. We will read that shit on here and fucking shout you out.
Watch us live every now and again, if not more often, at twitch.tv/Cookie Ninja Carve.
And also hang out with Khan on that Twitch feed because he does some cool things and cool things.
It's a really chill vibe, and then you can hear me talk about stupid things like, why is it that salt is addictive? More addictive than sugar.
But not pepper.
Makes you think.
We're Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chambers, guys.
That's your tooth.